How's it going, guys? Hope you all are doing great. This is the vlog coming to you live, and welcome on the continuation on Black freaking Clover. This will be chapter 227. The anime left us on episode 170, and we all know what happened on that episode. Asta was able to bond or to create a common ground with Libe. And we also got to know a little bit more on Libe, his past, his trials, his tribulations. And during the time he came to Earth, Lucifero wanted to use him to come to this world. But thanks to Lisita, Asta's mother, Lucifero did not prevail on his attempts. So now we are going to continue on where we left off on the anime, because everybody is prepared, everybody is ready for war, everyone is prepared, ready to take the fight to spare the kingdom, to that ride. So let's get it on, guys. So, and of course, this will be blurred out simply because of, you guys already know. I hope you guys have the version on your end so that you guys can keep up. I'm gonna try to minimize, put more filter here. So let's go. So we are now, like I said, on chapter Black Clover, chapter 227. Um, let me do something else, guys. 1 second. All right. So this is Asta. He says, I went to Libe and Nehat says, well done. The preparations for the devil binding ritual are now complete. You will be able to make a contract with that devil from a position of total dominance. Make the devil your servant, then you can use his power at will. The devil has no right to refuse. Just think, obey me. Once you do, the devil will serve you as your familiar, obeying all your orders and serving the rules you set. That is the path you should take in order to become the ultimate warrior. I see. In that case, be my friend, Asta says to Libe. And at this point, Libe is like, huh? What? What? Devils don't even know what friends are. See, friends are you work together as equals. And wait. Nahat says, are you attempting to make an equal contract with that devil? And Nessa says, yeah. I said so before we fought. He's the reason I have been able to fight all this time. It's just even it's just even though we have been together all along, I didn't know anything. I want to know more about him, so I will start by making friends. And at this point, the hand said, what are you talking about? You have no guarantee that devil will listen to you, that devil will listen to you. There is absolutely no merit in a contract like that. Asta says, no, this guy wasn't fighting seriously in the first place. He kept saying kill, and stuff, but he wasn't holding back. But he was holding back. You are the type who can't kill people, aren't you? You can hate or be sad for somebody else's sake, right? In that case, we can get along. That's why I want us to be equals. This isn't a ritual for devil binding, it's devil friending, Nahat says. And Nahat's Akuma, that kid is a moron. Nahat Akuma says that kid is a moron. Mr. Nahat, yes, he is. Besides, it looks like we want to take down the same people. Let's crush the bad guys together. And Asta brings out his hands to shake with Libe. And Libe says, "You really are a total idiot. I don't know whether destiny exists, but by the way, what's your name?" Asta asked. "This guy, what's your name? Huh? You don't have one? Maybe." And at this point, the dialogue goes to the past, just like on the anime, when Lisita, when Libe wakes up from his injury and sees Lisita. "Huh? You don't have one? Maybe I will give you one then." Um, got it. Libe. Starting today, you are Libe. And Libe, he really is Lisita's. He really is Lisita's kid. It's Libe. And at that point, Libe gets up and shakes Asta's hand, and there's this bond. The contract is now solidified. I'm sure you guys saw it on the anime. The contract is now solidified. "What's this then?" Asta asked. Whoa, my right arm's back. Thank you very much. "The contract is complete," Nahat says. "The contract is complete," Nahas says. "I swear that contract was unprecedented. Who would have thought you were this foolish?" Nahat continues to say, "Except you choose right. However, uh, Nahat continues to say, we are up. People who are right aren't necessarily rewarded." And he continues to say, "And so get stronger." And at this point, Nahat transforms like oh man, oh my goodness, his Akuma is just something else. In order to keep yourself from losing to unjust evil, from this point on, what you call training begins in earnest. Both of you, come at me and defeat me. Woohoo! The hat trains Asta. The hat is about to train Asta, man. He looks badass, yo. He looks badass right now with his Akuma, man. Okay, let's continue. That ends chapter 70. And let me update this right here to chapter 271. Devil Union mode. Pennies. Asta, the only way for you to get stronger is to unite with that devil and draw out all of its anti magic power. And Asta at this point, there's a tail. He sees a tail and he says, "A tail? Bwah!" Oh, and Asta is trying to. Okay, hold on. Let's keep going because I want to see what is going. And Asta transforms and kind of bonds with his Akuma at this point and draws a sword. Oh man, this is cool, man. This is very good. And Asta is ready to take on the hat. And there seems to be two heads on Asta. Huh? Libe's gone. Here, over here. You're all tiny. It looks like this what happens when I give you my power. Libe says, and Hat says, in devil binding contracts, the initiative belongs entirely to the one giving the orders, in other words, to the human. That's why I can use union so easily. Your current condition isn't union. The devil's power is only trickling into you. You said the same thing earlier, right, Libe? How can I use your real power? How can I use your real power? And Libe answers, I don't know. Huh? I was planning to take over your body and fight. I have never come outside to fight before either. That's why even a guy like you beat me. Hmm. So you totally don't know anything after you talked like a big shot. This naughty contract was all your idea. You do something about it, but I don't know how either. So at this point, there's a struggle between Asta and Libe, and the hat says, I suppose you will just have to figure it out as you fight. Using Devil Union, let's me add the characteristics of each of my devils to shadow magic. One of Guide Molly's characteristics is pack. Yeah, and we've seen Nehat use his pack when he walked into the meeting, the Magic Night meeting on episode 169, I believe. And Asta is shocked that Nehat is able to create all these packs, all these little pack devils to stand guard in front of him. Oh my goodness, guys. I am seeing so much right now. You guys have no idea. Woo, man. At this point, Asta is so shocked and surprised. And he takes out his sword and starts swinging at the clones or the cloak packs of Nahat's Akuma. And they charged at him, and Asta kind of flee a bit to separate a distance or to create a distance. And because there are so many of them, he says each of these guys has the same key as Vice Captain Nehat. So even though that Nehat separated his cloak or his clones of his cloak Akumas, each and every one of them are as strong as Nehat. So Nehat didn't shred any power out, you know? The shadows won't disappear until you defeat me. You blend in with them, and I can't even tell where he is. Asta is looking for Nahat, but because they all look the same, it's hard for him to locate where Nahat is the real one. So he's got contracts with four devils. What? He got he's got contracts with four devils. Does that mean he's been face to face with death that often? Our connections stronger than our connection is stronger than it was before. We made our contract. I should be able to draw out more power. You made a contract on equal terms with the devil. Since the devil isn't your servant, using 100% of his power wouldn't be easy for you. This is the path you chose. Use that power to defeat me. Yes, sir. Right here, right now. I will surpass my limit, Asta says. At this point, Asta says, I will surpass my limit. Okay, let's see what Asta does. He charges towards the clones of Nahat's Akuma. Demon Slayer, he shouts. Your name is the Demon Slayer, Kitana. And he uses Yami's sword. And he says, your name is Demon Slayer, Kitana. Let's go get Captain Yami together. We will surpass our limits right here, right now. And the hat says, I hate that phrase because the hat doesn't get along with Yami so well. And I continue to wonder why. Maybe they engaged in a fight long time ago and Yami whooped his ass. So we are now on chapter 272 at this point. Black Clover. All right. And the dialogue shifts to Yuno training. Now Yuno is somewhere training his ass off, getting ready. And why don't you come out instead of lurking and watching? And at that point, former Vice Captain Langris shows up. Oh my goodness, guys. Langris finally shows up. That former was uncalled for. You are as nasty as ever, I see. Not as nasty as you. Oh, where is the noisy spirit that's always with you? Langris asked Yuno. And the noisy spirit comes out. What's with that guy? And Yuno says, bells hallowed up in my Grimro right now. No, bells hauled up in my Grimro right now. I have worked out a way to defeat Zenon. That said, I can't confirm how effective it will actually be. Why are you here? Yuno asked Langris. And Langris says, I thought you would need an opponent who had Spartal magic. Since I am already here, shall I help you train? Oh man, are we gonna see battle number 2 between these two? I would really rather manage on my own, but this is the Golden Dawn's problem. You have gotten stronger. You have gotten stronger too, haven't you? Please do help me. All right. And Langris says, you are still pretty insolent, but I see. You have gotten a little stronger, more agreeable. And the scene shifts again to the dialogue scene shifts again on Asta, Libe, and Nahat. At this point, they are tired, they have separated, but Asta still has his arm, but Libe has separated with Asta for a moment, and they're lying on the ground, gasping air, and Nahat looks over to them and said, you lose again. And Asta says, Vice Captain Nahat is unbelievably tough. No matter how many times we try, I can't figure out how to win. And even so, he's probably not even fighting for real yet. So this is the power of Devil Union. Why can't Libe and I do that? Even though when I am in black mode and get hurt, He does too. Hmm. And Asta goes to eat. Nahat brought them food, and Asta and Nahat are eating, actually. And Asta says, whoa, yum. And now my wounds heal up and my strength comes back. You said the Spade Kingdom Resistance members made these with magic. When we meet, I will have to thank them. Oh, eating something sweet gave me an idea. Simmer a second, Libe. When he gets when he gets like this, about to about 10% of the time, his idea is sheer genius. Combine. And Libe jumps on top of Asta's shoulders. What is he trying to do? The other 90% of the time, it's crap. This is no time to screw around, you 90% idiot. What's a 90% idiot? Asta has I'm not screwing around. Fighting like this will bring our hearts and bodies closer to being in union. If something like this could do that, we couldn't be having trouble in the first place. 90% idiot. What's your problem? You get to be on top, so quite, so quite winning. Yeah. Doesn't being such a goody get training? Oh, doesn't being such a goody get tiring? Yeah. What about you, brother? Doesn't doing your own thing get tiring? Moron, what's tiring about being free? It's about time to meet up with the rest. Huh? It's already been 2 days? I totally didn't even notice. Oh crap. No choice then. If it's not going to work anyway, then die here. It seems like 2 days has passed, and it is time for them to go meet the others. And at this point, Asta is shocked and he says, Libe, Mana Zone, Dark Prison Hunting Ground. Hmm. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. And Asta says, it's pitch black. And at this point, Asta finds himself in a dark Mana Zone. And he says, this is their key. I can't sense them at all. There is no way to dodge their attacks. You did have potential, and yet, what a shame. This is Nahat saying this now, because Nahat is attacking Asta seriously, and Asta can't, doesn't know how to defend himself because he's in a pitch black mana zone, and those cloak continues to swing at Asta. That is creeping upon me from the darkness, and I can't sense a thing. This is true terror. This is true terror. Asta is bleeding right now. Our back, our back are really against the wall. So why can't we unite? Both Asta and I wasn't more power. No, sorry, but Asta and I want more power. Libe says, if I am going to save Captain Yami, if I am going to avenge Lisita, I can't die. and and also I can't let this guy die either. Now this is Libe saying this. I can't let this guy die either. And something is happening now. For some reason, something is happening. That ends. That brings us to the end of chapter 272. Next, chapter 273. And the dialogue shifts to Dark Bride, and we see Zenon. I I assume my brother's going to be all right. And at this point, there is some type of uh, a mechanic and scientific uh, box, and I believe Dante is in there. And Zeno says, "I assume my brother's going to be all right." Maurice, listen, I was in charge of all the sorcery studies in the Diamond Kingdom. I will fix him up, no problem. He will be even stronger than before. This Morris doctor says that by the time he's done with Dante, Dante will even be stronger than he was before. On top of that, the magic for the ritual of the Advent was collected by the Cadula, which I made. A little trust, please. That traitor, that traitor Mars, got got me run out of the kingdom. Remember Mars, guys? But I ended up somewhere more interesting. I am grateful to you people. Okay. And at this point, we see Dante in this capsule machine, and he has all these wires inside his body, and he's healing, right? He's healing. He's literally healing in this time tube, in this tube. And he says, I can't wait to fight that boy again. I can't wait to fight that boy again. Whew! And none of the other preparations have been delegated. It's all going perfectly. Isn't that right? Lotus? And really bad. Yeah. This is and we see this is in all sort of ways. And it seems like Dante's power, or there is something happening here, and it's happening to Dante, and it seems like we're seeing a a visible cloak of his Akuma Lucifero here. And the scene shifts again to Asta. Oh my goodness. Oh my, Asta in some way, shape, or form has something. There's so many dark cloaks around him at this point, and he's still holding Yami's sword. But he gave it a name now. He gave Yami's sword a different name, Demon Slayer Kitana. That's what he calls it now. And at this point, Nahat is looking over on Asta, and he says he intentionally avoided hitting me directly. The union on my arm came undone even though he didn't touch me. He also erased my magic, which lacked any substance, and mana zone along with it. Anti magic, I knew it. Anti magic, I knew it. If he uses that at full power, then he will be the strongest. I lose. Look at Nehat. Asta was able to negate that dark zone or mana zone, dark whatever Nehat did to him. And Nehat says this. Let me read it again, guys. He intentionally avoided hitting me directly. The union on my arm came undone, even though he didn't touch it. He also erased my magic, which lacked any substance, and mana zone along with it. Anti-magic, anti-magic, I knew it. If he uses that at full power, then he will be the strongest. I lose. Yes, then let's hurry up and go, Asta says. And the hat says, no. Asta says, why not? Libe and I managed to use Devil Union. And the hat says, yes, but only for a moment. Only for a moment. You haven't mastered it yet. You know that as well as I do, don't you? And Libe says he's right, but we have come this far. The hat says if you went into enemy's territory like this, you would end up dead. Asta says, but I. Nahat interrupts him and says, using shadow magic, I watched you and the other black bows. Huh? You were being born without magic. But accidents. But accident but accident you were being born without magic by accident. You were possessed by a devil and toyed with by unforgiving fate. But you were always right. I said that people who were right weren't necessarily rewarded. However, I would like them to be. And at this point, Asta looks over to Nehat and says, Vice Captain Nehat, I will be leaving Gimodulo here. And Gimodulo says, huh? Now Gimodulo, that's Nahat's Akuma. The name of his Akuma. Gimodulo here. And Gimodulo says, huh? We will do the best we can until you get there. So get that polished up and come join us. So at this point, the hat says that he's going to go join the others because it's been 2 days. And he leaves Gimodulo to Asta to watch over him and to probably supervise or something. And he tells Asta, so get your ability polished up and come join us. And Asta says, yes, sir. If they hit me with that, I am dead. Imodula says, Mr. Nahat is an org. Oh man, give me a moment, guys. And it's been 2 days, finally. The Magic Knight, or the Clover Kingdom Magic Knight captains have arrived. They have all assembled. Including Langris. All right, let's go. That brings us to the end of 273. Now let's move forward to 274. Everyone is here, I see. The hat says. Where is Asta? Pagolion asked him. And the hat answers, it's going to take him a little longer. And Jack the Ripper says, what? Nobody was counting on him in the first place. Really? Really, Jack? Oh, Asta's not coming? Well, I guess that's okay. It sounds like I will get to see something super interesting in a bit. Now, at this point, I forgot the name of these guys. Oh my goodness, forgot their names. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Uh, second. Okay, the first one is Redis. Redis, where's girl? Redis, Sally, and third person, and Vatos. Okay. Whew. All right, guys, let's continue. So, uh, Redis, Sally, and Vatos enters and says, "Well, I guess that's okay. It sounds like this is Sally saying, well, I guess that's okay. It sounds like I will get to see something super interesting in a bit. It will be a great test for the magic items I made after studying Asta's physical makeup." And we know Sally is very talented. And Nuzzle says these magic camouflaging rob these these magic camouflaging robes. I hear she made them. Are they really all right? Sally's a little odd, but when it comes to magic item research, Sally is a little odd, but when it comes to magic item research, she's second to none. The rest, the rest, um, she's second to none. Rest easy, sir. Maxa, don't, but in just cause this is about magic items. Good grief. And at this point, Buha Buha, Mr. Buha says, "Why do I have to go on this super find level mission with crazy dangerous dudes? That lousy king." And Kira says, "Go and display your talent power for me." Sure, I spent the past 6 months living it up. I am a magic knight who works directly for His Majesty. But nobody told me I was heading into a hell like this one. So for the past 6 months, Buha Buha, the Buha Master has been living it up, drinking champagne, chilling with girls, sipping and drinking. And at this point, Jack the Reaper says, I don't know why you're here, loser, but if you are doing this, you would better get serious about it. And Buha Master says, yeah, 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 yeah. Nahat says, we know you don't have much in the way of skills. Sacrifice yourself for the sake of the people who are right. Say what? Buha Master says. And at this point, Nuzzle says, will Asta really make it in time? He will definitely show up. And Yuno says, except I am going to end it all before he arrives. And Jack the Reaper says, that won't be you. It will be me. And Nuzzle says, it won't be you either. Shadow magic. And at this point, Nahat decides to transport them with him. It will be us. And at this point, the scene shifts again to Spade Kingdom. And this Morris guy is in his lab doing his thing. And he says, well, they have shown themselves. It's the resistance. Listen up, Dark Tried. 17 years ago, you killed our king, Lord Louis, and many of our comrades. Ever since then, you have used the citizens in abominable ways. Now, these are the resistance talking. We can never forgive you for these. We can never forgive you for these things. We know, even if we fought you to the death, we couldn't defeat you. We, the people of the Spade Kingdom, refuse to acknowledge your family as our ruler. And at that point, the dialogue goes off again, and we see Clover Kingdom Magic Knights, the captains, going after. They've arrived at Spade Kingdom right now. And Nahat is taking the lead. He says, now then, each of you follow the plan. And I believe this is Julius. He's saying you were undercover in the Spade Kingdom. No, this is not Julius. This is, I believe, the guy that came to Yuno and told him about his family. Right? Was his name I think Jack or something. You are saying you were undercover in Spade Kingdom, and you have been in contact with the resistance since you left your country? And Nehat responds, yes, I hadn't actually intended to get too involved with your resistance. But as I watched your abilities and what you did, I began thinking that it would be better to cooperate. I saw your determination during that meeting. Sorry for pretending I didn't know. Unbelievable. This is Nehat now telling Yuno. And I believe this is the leader of the resistance saying, we are counting on you, Mr. Nehat, the strongest magic knights of the Clover Kingdom, and Lord Yuno. We will create that diversion for you, even if it costs us our lives. What's that? This shaking, it's an attack. Something happens, some type of a giant, horrendous, humongous being comes out. And at this point, the resistance are scared to, like, they are very terrified at this point. That's the legendary Asian demon. In the face of overwhelming power, sentiment and vengefulness are meaningless. Everything is, now this is Zenon talking. In the face of overwhelming power, sentiment and vengefulness are meaningless. Everything is. Since a rat had found his way in the castle, I thought the resistance would attempt something. With regards to the ritual of the advent of Pol Port, but who would have thought they would just appear bold as brace? We are planning to use the demon to exterminate the people of the castle town. In any case, you are not citizens of the Spada kingdom. The title is reserved for us, the strong. This is Zeno saying all of this. Okay. Let the ritual of the advent of Quirport begin. Ooh, oh my goodness. This sounds it's stupendous magic. The ones outside all right? Nahat asked. They are fine. And this huge monster creature, a demon magic. The legendary Asian demon is about to take out the resistance, and he roars, and out of the blue moon, whoo, Miss Megaliane attacks the legendary Asian demon. Now, we saw her on episode 170. She was training and bathing herself. This woman is a badass chick. This woman is bathing herself in lava, taking a shower in lava. How strong can her mana skin be to be bathing inside lava volcano? And one of the resistance says, "Impressive, Howlun. I, Meriliane, Vegomelion, Clover can." Okay, hold on, let me go back. Impressive Halloran. Resistance members. I, Megaliane, Vermilion, Clover Kingdom Royal, will lend you a hand, she says. And that brings us to the end of chapter 274. Let me update this as well. Let me update the chapter. Now we go to 275. The ritual of the Advent is a large magic circle, which is powered by 4 functions. One is the site of the Advent of the Whirlpool in the center. The remaining 3 are the Dark Triad, who will activate the ritual. Nahat says we will defeat all 3 members of the Dark Triad and make it so that the ritual can't operate. By doing so, we can stop the advent of Quilipor and prevent the gates from opening. We could technically use anti-magic to destroy Quilipor itself. However, that isn't guaranteed to work. If we destroyed it by brute force and Yami and Vengeance died, you would never forgive me, would you? The tried is in three different spots on the perimeter of the magic circle. We will split into three groups, attack them simultaneously, and crush them all. Even if there is a diversion outside the castle, intruders, you will probably encounter some dark disciples. When you do, have someone act as a decoy and let as many people as possible go on to strike the Thride. Hmm. And at this point, the dialogue shifts to the legendary Asian demon monster, and it seems like he's not gone yet. He's not dead yet. And the civilian shout, "It didn't work. We can't defeat a thing like that. There is just no way." While they said that, Mega Meriliane looks and smiles like she always does, like a badass chick. And she says, I learned, back then I learned there were things my magic wouldn't work on. And I don't know who you are, but what what do you want? Now the dialogue shifts as soon as Meriliana says, "Back then, I learned there were things my magic wouldn't work on." The dialogue shifts a scene to when Meriliane was bathing herself inside lava, and Nahat shows up where she's training and says, and Meriliana says, "I don't know who you are, but what do you want?" And Nahat says, "You are as astonishing as the rumor says. You are as astonishing as the rumors says. For now, I don't suppose you could put on some clothes?" Because she's naked. She's bathing naked. "Oh, Yami and Vengeance. I couldn't care less that those half-wits got kidnapped. But I am curious about the lot that nabbed them." Nahat says, "I would find you an ideal opponent to gag the rest of your training." He was right. It showed me. And at this point, Merlione is standing facing this ancient demon monster. This legendary ancient demon monster. That and he showed me that I could still get stronger. "This is fun," she says. "I will burn away everything flame magic to begin." And she turns up her heat. She literally turns up her powers and says, "I will defeat a legend. Hellfire incarnate." And she turns up her powers, and the resistant leader says, "What a phenomenon magic." It's as if her body itself has become mana. And this legendary demon, Asian demon monster, goes after Merilione and she dodges it. She dodges it with a smile on her face. She's always smiling, man. This chick is a badass. She goes after this Asian legendary demon and strikes it. punches it so hard, like literally. And this legendary Asian demon fell. And she says, Mana Zone full release. Go back to sleep, she says, forever. Kalidas bro Chimon Purgatory Abyss. And the resistance, their mouth are open, like all their mouth, they're like, oh, this time. And the dialogue shifts again. This time, Yuno, Langerus they are now looking at, okay, the dialogue shifts again to the Clover Kingdom Magic Knights. And Elizabeth and I believe Leopard bumped into Vanica. They're looking at Vanica right now. And they say, stop right there. And the scene goes and shows us, Langerus has run into Zena. And then Jack the Reaper and Nacht will be facing the Dark Triad, and they will be facing Dante. Let me say it again. Elizabeth and I believe Leopard, because I can't see the front of his face, are now looking at Vanica. Yuno and Langrus will be taking on Zeno, and Jack the Reaper and Nacht will be taking on Dante. And that brings us to the end of chapter 275. Now, chapter 276. Chapter 276. Yuno and Langrus are looking at Zena at this point. And Zena turns around and says, so the rat that snuck in wasn't from the resistance. You are. How are you alive? Though the power of Captain Vengeance spell, we are. Okay, let me say that again. You are. So the rat that snuck in wasn't from the resistance. You are. How are you alive? Though the power of Captain Vengeance spells, we are taking him back. After we take you down. And at this point, I believe Yuno attacks Zeno. And Zeno says, okay, Yuno attacks Zeno. I know Zeno's ability. He uses magic bones as an absolute defense. So Yuno attacks Zeno, and of course, Zeno uses magic bone to defend himself and negated Yuno's attack. Overwhelming hardness and regeneration speed. I see a foolish endeavor. It keeps most physical attacks from getting through. If you would stayed quietly at home, you would have survived a little longer. This is Zena saying this. If you would stayed quietly at home, you would have survived a little longer. And Langris says, they tell me you went on quite a spare while I was away. I am not the type who can sit ideally by while a guy like that is so on the loose. Chingo's crush. Now, at this point, Langris turns up his ability. And we know how deadly Langris' ability is. Langris' ability is wicked. He turns it up. Spectacle magic. And though the devil's power, absolute space. Using spectacle magic, he takes full control of the mana within that space. He even interferes with and blocks the mana in his opponent's spells. If I didn't exist, it's likely you would have been the ultimate spectacle magic. It's been a long time since I met anyone who would talk down to me. This is Langris saying this. And Zeno replied, because it seems like Zeno was able to negate Langris's attack. And Zeno answers, I understand that you are here because they hoped you would cancel out my spectacle magic, but spectacle mana domination. If a merge is inside the space of a spell, they can't even maintain their magic. A spell this huge without even moving. This is Langris now saying this, that Zeno is negating his magic with his own spectacle magic. And Zeno said, Did pity turn your head? Accompanying someone who lost before is sheer folly. You are just like your captain. You make foolish choice. And Zeno continues to say, travel, pride, and dreams. Because you have those things, you will die without even having made me take a single step. Oh my goodness, guys, at this point, everything Langris and Yuno are throwing at Zena. Zena haven't taken a step or moved at all. He is still standing in the same spot, defending him, just negating their abilities with his practical magic, bone regeneration, and stuff like that. He haven't moved a muscle. Let's go. Belle, this is Yuno now. Yuno calls Belle out. And Belle comes out looking so glamorous and so mighty. And she says, right. She comes out. There you are. You bony loser. Nobody does that to us, Belle says, and gets away with it. Yuno and I are taking you out. Spirit, divine. Spirit of Boros. Oh, at this point, Yuno transforms. Oh my goodness, guys. Yuno transforms. It's almost like Yuno has the same crown as Dante. Because you know how Dante has his crown. But Yuno, when he transformed, there's this crown on his head and he's holding a staff. Right? He's holding a staff. No, actually, not a staff, an axe, a huge axe that has the leaf at the edges of it. What is this pressure and that spell form? Even so, in this space, they can't wield any power. I am the man who will become the Wizard King. I can't let you keep your victory over me. This is Yuno saying this now. Yuno has turned, it seems like he did improve himself. He did grow stronger. And Zeno is looking at this, no emotions, nothing. No emotions, no expression, nothing. Zeno is just being Zeno. He is not surprised in any way, shape, or form at this point. But he did say, what? The mana inside absolute space isn't under my control. Has he taken control over it with even greater power? No, he's simply beloved by mana. And Yuno dashes towards Zena and strikes him with that huge axe stab that he has. But of course, Zeno used his sparkle magic bone to shield himself. You will die without even making you. You will die without even making you take a single step. Was that what you said? And when Yuno attacked Zeno, and Zeno used his practical bone magic to shield himself, when the clash happened, for the very first time, Zeno's eyes is wide open. And here's what comes next. Yuno is able to pierce, right? The attack made contact on Zeno's body, which means Yuno didn't just negate or destroy his bone spectacle magic. The attack went through the shattered the bone spectacle magic and hit Zeno. He made a huge hole on his body at this point. And for the very first time, Zeno's eyes is wide open. He's like, what the fuck just happened? This kid just drew a hole inside, a huge hole for that matter. And Yuno says, you were talking to the wrong guy. And Langris, looking on, says, I swear, you are a literally poor loser. And that brings us to the end of chapter 276. Now let's update this here and go to 277. Device, page 277, the Vice Captain of the Golden Dawn. You are the one who is going to die, Yuno says. And oh my god, when they do this animation, Yuno is going to be glowing so much. Like it is so much mana energy coming from him. Die regretting that you never meddled with me. Die regretting that you never meddled with the Golden Dawn. And at this point, Zeno looked fatigued. He's coughing out blood. Blood is coming from his mouth. A huge pile of blood is coming out of him. And Langris looks on and said, it's working. We will beat this guy. Stop the advent of Quillpot. And rescue Captain Vengeance. And now they show us a scene where Captain Vengeance is locked in. And at this point, the dialogue shifts to Vanica. And Vanica says, "Aww, I heard we had intruders." She says, "Aww, I heard we had intruders, but neither of you is Niley." So she was expecting Niley and not Elizabeth and I believe that's Rail. I thought it was Leo, but that's Rail. Hold on. One moment, guys. Oh, I called her Elizabeth. It's Charlotte. Sorry, guys. Forgive me. Charlotte. Charlotte and Rail taking on Vanica. They closed in on Vanica. Well, go well, go on, show me whether you are whether or not you will be fun to fight. For starters, if you can beat these eight shining general guys, you are not worthy. Sorry, okay, let me rephrase that. Well, go on, show me whether or not you will be fun to fight. For starters, if you can't beat these eight shining general guys, you are not worthy bothering with. Hmm. At this point, Vanica brings out her generals, and Charlotte said, Brer creation magic, corpse hunting barrier trees. She activates her mana, her magic, and Vanica says, although between Morris's modifications and the power of my curse, they are pretty tough. So not only did they come to Heart Kingdom and Clover Kingdom, they fought people there. When they went back, they improved themselves. They had some modification done. And at this point, Charlotte continues to fight, and Rail starts to draw his stuff, like Grand Swell of Sue Talon, Serene's Game. They're defending themselves thus far, and they're doing a pretty good job. And Vanica looks on and says, "Huh, picture magic can take on all sorts of attributes. So sure, it's interesting, but it's sort of like, is that all you have got? Burial magic is a total no-go. There is the compatibility thing, so she's holding you back. Man, I wish I could have fought the anti-magic kid." This is Vanica saying that thus far, Charlotte and Rael are kind of boring her, that she wished that she would have fought Asta. Because I'm sure she heard by now, she knows what Asta did to Dante. Let's continue. Man, I wish I could have fought the anti-magic kid and the dark magic guy who took out Dante. And then I wanted to turn them into my toys. Well, the gate to the underworlds the gate to the underworld's going to open because the guy dies. So I will deal, I guess. That said, Zeno managed to catch him and bring him here. So maybe he wasn't much after all. So Vanica is kind of reminiscent that she would have loved to fought Asta and Yami, but for the fact that Zeno was able to demobilize Yami and defeat him and brought him here, that means Yami wasn't that much of to fight for half a year while I kept performing my duties as captain. Good Lord, you are a genius, Charlotte. I studied. No, you are a genius, Charlotte. Is the captain learning those arrears again? She's an earnest type. She's an earnest type anyway, so she just doesn't stop. I believe they went back in time when Charlotte was training herself. I studied the Heart Kingdom's rune arrays. Although a powerful curse had been cast on me, I had taken control of it and used it for my own ends. Or so I thought, but I was wrong. The curse was a mighty shackle that restrained my magic. By mastering rune arrays, I found the true way to use the cursed barriers. Dorothy told me the curse magic of this world originated with Megikila. Let me read that again. Let me go back. Charlotte is saying at this point the curse that. Let me go back a little. Although the powerful curse had been cast on me, I had taken control of it and used it for my ends. Or so I thought, but I was wrong. The curse was a mighty shackle that restrained my magic. By mastering rune arrays, I found the true way to use the cursed barriers. Dorothy told me that the cursed magic of this world originated with Megikila. Megikila is the father of all curses. Because of you, I grew strong. Mana method, modified barrier magic, blue rose paradise. At this point, Charlotte improves her magic and was able to, let's see here. And Ray looking on says she deployed mana method inside my spell. I wonder if good mana soil and water help them grow well. The stronger the enemy's curses, the more of that curse they observe, and the lovelier their blooms grow. The curse on those two is weakening. That human, so Charlotte is able to use her blue rose paradise and wrap it around Vanica's generals. Okay? And Vanica is now looking on. She says, that human, she modified the curse on herself and turned it a special anti-curse spell. She modified the curse on herself and turned it into a special anti-curse spell. To think there was anyone who could do a thing like that. Fascinating. Missions and friendly rivalries with the Magic Knights. The elves' reincarnation. The rune arrays of the Heart Kingdom. Everything up till now has nourished my magic. Charlotte says, this is my current blue rose. And this, she's about to turn up. Charlotte is about to turn up. Is my rightful red rose. Oh my God. Let me read it again. And this, true barrier magic. This is my rightful red rose. Because all this time she's been using blue rose. Ever since we knew her, she's been using blue rose. Now she's using red rose. At this point, and she's using it, and these generals, they are in pain now. They cannot believe what is happening to them. At this point, I am able to use Queen of Barriers. And she, oh my goodness, everybody's surpassing their limit right now, guys. When this finally comes out, when this anime, it's going to be epic. Everyone is surpassing their limit. Charlotte's red rose is able to cover her with all these roses with different colors because I can see the shades of the color of the roses. Like it's darker gray, lighter gray. So that means different color of roses, but probably red and blue or something. And she has a crown. She has a crown, the queen of barriers. She's now a queen now. Both blue and red roses. Both blue and red roses. I will save you and show you just how strong I have become. Yami. Now she's thinking about Yami. She visualizing Yami now and says, I will save you and show you just how strong I have become, Yami. Wait, and at this point, Ray is looking on and saying this. Rel says, wait, so Charlotte managed to become a captain without even using her true power? Oh my goodness, guys. Now, at this point, Vanica has seen enough. Vanica has seen that Charlotte is now worth fighting. She laughs, she smiles, she is livid, she is happy now. And she starts smiling. Ha 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 ha. I just found the best opponent ever. She's been looking to fight, she's been looking for battle. And she dashes towards Charlotte without hesitation. I just found the best opponent ever, huh? Unfortunately, I am not going to fight you, Charlotte says. And Vanica responds right away. What are you talking about? I will shake this stuff off right away. Strength can do nothing but those barriers. Strength can do nothing about those barriers. The stronger the target, the more tightly the power of the curse binds. The power of the curse binds them. And at this point, Vanica is surprised because let me read that again. This strength can do nothing about those barriers. The stronger the target, the more tightly the power of the curse binds. The power of the curse binds them. And Vanica says, it can't be. You used my own strength against me? Hey, come on. Have some fun with me. Come on. You are careless and arrogant because when Charlotte turned her energy up and her red rose, it wrapped around Vanica, right? It wrapped around Vanica, and Vanica dashed out and wanted to attack uh, Charlotte. And Charlotte says, the stronger the target, the more tightly the power of the curse binds them. You and Charlotte continues to say, you were careless and arrogant, and you let your guard down. That's why this happened. Don't be like that. I just know the two of us could have the best fight ever. Ridiculous women like you are not my thing. Charlotte says, "Die without getting your wish. That's that is my punishment for you." And that brings us to the end of chapter 277. Let's move on, chapter 278. I'm going to move this here. Maybe it's fine where it is. Anyways, let's continue. I was gonna move things around, but it's fine. That Sati Lunatic slash. Mhm. And the dialogue shifts on chapter 278. On chapter 278, Nehat and Jack the Reaper are now taking on Dante. They are about to take on Dante now. Morris's sorcery science, Dante says, has improved my body's regenerative abilities even further. And we see Dante again. He has recovered. He has totally recovered from his injuries. And he says nothing except anti-magic even has a chance of hurting me. Dante says nothing except anti-magic even has a chance of hurting me. That means Asta using anti-magic on Dante will not work anymore. I thought as much. Nehat says, if we are going to win, we will have to gamble on Jack's magic. And Jack says, hey, we are just getting started. The magic that cuts things that can't be cut. This is Jack the Reaper saying that the magic that cuts things. And I believe this is about time they gave Jack the Reaper, they give him a good scene. Like they give him, if a battle, you know what I mean? However, that's just how it is. Gravity magic. I have no use for you. Dante says, presence of the Demon King. Geek, geek, geek. Well, will Jack even be able to attack inside a gravity spell? Because at this point, Dante has turned on his gravity magic, presence of Demon King, and Nehat says, will Jack even be able to attack inside a gravity spell? Slotos. Devil Union mode. Equus. At this point, Nehat turns into his own Akuma. He transforms. Characteristics toughness, he says. And at this point, Dante looks over. Man, Nehat looks badass though. He looks badass right now. He looks incredibly wicked. And Dante looks on and says, oh, so there is another devil host besides the anti-magic boy. What's this? You were showing so much spirit. What happened? Are your height and your attitude all that's big about you? This is Nehat talking to Dante now. Captain of the praying mantises. Talk is cheap. How about letting your skill do the talking instead? Okay. So Jack is kind of talking to Nehat, and Nehat says, talk is cheap. How about letting your skills do the talking instead? And Jack says, why you little? And Dante says, don't ignore me. Don't ignore me. And strikes at Nehat. But Nehat, with his Akuma has two shield. Like Nehat looks badass, yo. Nehat looks incredibly good, even better than Dante. He looks badass. Dante strikes Nehat, but Nehat uses one of his Akuma shield to block it. Do you mind? And he says, do you mind? I am talking with Captain over there. And he strikes Dante. And Dante looks on and says, "Wahahaha, good. Show me more of that malice. Will you keep me entertained until the gate opens? I can trade blows with him, but I can't land a critical hit." Dante says, "Wahahaha, good. Show me more of that malice. Will you keep me entertained until the gate opens?" And Nehat says, "I can trade blows with him, but I can't land a critical hit. I can't kill this man. I have to get Jack to attack somehow, or else you or else you and the other hands and the other hand, you on the other hand, the crawling one, I had him call you captain, but you are boring. Get lost." And Dante attacks Nahat again and punches him. "My dad was a commoner, a hunter. He made a living by hunting birds and small game. He always said, 'Don't mess with anything that looks stronger than you.'" Now, this is Jack the Ripper talking. Jack the Ripper is saying, "My dad was a commoner, a hunter. He made a living by hunting birds and small game. He always said, 'Don't mess with anything that looks stronger than you.' He was a solid, conventional guy. When he learned that my magic formed blades, he was happy. He said it was fitting magic for a hunter. Like my dad, I hunted creatures that were weaker than me and slashed them up. Slash and dice, slash and dice." "Will I always live this way? This year I was 13. Yeah, I saw that coming, I thought. They thought he would probably run into the Lord of the mountain while he was hunting. There were huge claw marks on his neck, on his back, and we see a bear, a huge bear. At this point, Jack is gonna face a huge bear. This is Jack remembering his past. And he runs into this huge bear and he licks his mouth like he always does. It's fine. I can slash through that. And he sliced and diced this huge bear. And he looks upon the bear and says, I guess I will join the Magic Knight. Just by him defeating the huge bear, he says, I guess I will join the Magic Knights. I just and as he is reminiscing, Dante goes after him to kill him. Nehat steps in with his shield again and blocks and shields Jack the Reaper. And Nehat says, "This man, he is manipulating blades. He's manipulating blades on the surface of his body, sharpening them. Want to take clothing being protected. That's just pathetic. That's just pathetic. The ones, this is Dante talking now. That's just pathetic. The ones Yami Sukihiro was a captain to, but he kept me entertained, who are considered strong. And you see, Dante is looking at this situation and he, Nehat and Jack are not entertaining him enough at this point, you know? And in that moment, Jack gets up and says, slash them to reborn, to ribbons. He slashed. Let's test that on your body, loser. Jack gets up and says, he's about to surpass his limit. Slash them to reborns. He slashed through gravity? Let's test that on his body, loser. Let's test that on your body, loser. And Jack dashes towards Dante and slashes him, slashing and dicing him. And it seems like all his attack is working on Dante. He sliced him. And Dante says, no matter how much you attack, no mere insect could kill me. The top guys ain't the ones with the best reputations. So his attack did cut Dante, but Dante using his, because his body has been modified at this point, he has gotten stronger. His regeneration speed is more effective than before, but that did not stop Jack the Ripper. Watch this. Yo, don't mess with insects. They are the ones who kill everything that stands in front of them. And Jack the Ripper goes up, attacks Dante, and kicks him. A solid kick. He appears, and Nehat is looking at this, and he says, it appears I underestimated you. Nehat looks on and says, it appears I underestimated you. And that brings us to the end of 278. Let's update this to 279. Chapter 279. The dialogue shifts again to Mereliane and this ancient legendary demon beast. She's smiling. Ha 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 ha. Is that all you've got, demon? And the resistance are still looking on. Their mouths are literally wide open. They can't believe their eyes, and they said, what a phenomenal merge. She defeated an ancient demon all by herself. Everyone. Ralph. Division Commander Albert. I am glad you are all right. So, you met Nehat as well then? Yes. Oh, Ralph, yeah, Ralph. Master Yuno has become a skilled wind merge. In appearance, he is the very image of Lady Seal, which is Yuno's mother. Lady Seal, and he has Lord Lois's strong heart. And the leader of the resistance says, wind magic? I see. Still with Master Yuno and the others perhaps. And the dialogue shifts again to Nehat, Jack versus Dante. And Nehat says, I see. It seems like Nehat Akuma is whispering something in his ears, right? And he says, I see. We still have ample time before the gate to the underworld opens. Our kingdom's strong magic knights appears to be even stronger than I anticipated. And while he's looking over, Jack continues to attack Dante mercilessly. But the thing is, because Dante has improved, he has gotten way stronger than he was before. His speed recovery is off the charts. He continues to recover, and at this point, he's allowing Jack to attack him, and he's laughing. Wahahahaha! So you're going to entertain me too? And Jack the Ripper says, "Shut up! Just die already!" Jack continues to attack Dante, and the camera or the scene, the camera is focusing on three people at this point: Nehat, Yuno, and Charlotte. And both of them, or three of them, says, "What is this feeling? What is this feeling? Something is happening now. Something is happening. Look at that." The civilian says, "Look at that. There's a strange aura, a bizarre mana, dark whatever, that literally covering the whole castle of Spada Kingdom at this point." And Raph looks on and says, "Those are enormous roots. Quilipur, Plendy, Union Mode, Felis." At this point, Nehat transforms. He turns on his power again and says, "Union Mode, Felis. Shadow Magic, Heaven's Shadow Second Sight." And listen to this. At the site of the advent of Quillifort underground, a sense magic besides Yami and vengeance. And now the camera or the dialogue goes to this gate, this huge gate, and in the middle of it is Yami and vengeance. And Morris, the doctor, says, "Isn't that Morris?" Okay, so Morris is standing at the gate, looking to Yami and vengeance. And Nehat says, Isn't that Morris, the the magic scholar who was exiled, right? Who was exiled from the Diamond Kingdom?" Ki. Morris is laughing. And so even the arbitrary acts of eccentric can sometimes be useful. Using the wisdom of the Heart Kingdom, I discovered a way to accelerate the tree of Quillport growth. This is Morris saying this. To think that in exchange for being born blind, oh, he's actually blind, I would be blessed with abilities like this. And he takes off his glasses, and he is also one of the dark tribe. The abilities of a devil host. Through the power of a devil, my magic made it possible to extract and transplant even Loropichica's wisdom. At this point, Maurice is looking at doing something to Loropichica. I don't know how it's being done, but Is Maurice acting? This is Nehat saying this. I don't know how it's being done, but is Maurice acting as an accelerate for the gate? The gate of the underworld is open. And at this point, Nehat notices that the gate is opening and he says, no, we have to eliminate him. And two ominous looking Akuma is standing in front of Jack the Ripper and Nehat. And Jack the Ripper turns around and sees these two ominous looking Akumas. And Dante looks on and he's welcoming them. Awesome. He's surprised at the same time. Fully's characteristic agility. Those two, this is Nehat saying this, those two, I hit, they are devils of the highest order. Nehat says, those two demonic individuals that just popped up, Nehat says, those two, they are devils of the highest order. Right now, it's all fun, isn't it? Now those two individuals are speaking now. Those two women-looking Akumas. Right now, it's all fun, isn't it? Yes, it's so fun, and that brings us to the end of chapter 279. Now, chapter 280. Jack the Ripper is looking on. He is surprised at what he's seeing. And Nehat is looking over and he is speechless. Plumade is shaking. The two devils of the highest order from the first layer of the underworld, which is mapped to Qualiport, I would assume their strength would be equal to the Dark Tide, but Nehat, it seems like he's going to attack these two characters, these two Akumas. Let's keep going. And the civilians are looking on the castle, and there is so many dark energy going on the castle. Those roots, they are absorbing mana from the atmosphere, no, from the world. And Vertos is looking over, he's surprised, and the leader of the resistance says, what is it? This mass of nauseating magic, nauseating magic. And Nehat says they are on a completely different level. Those two, they are on a completely different level. Those two, and the two underworld Akuma that just popped up. One of them says, "The mana is delicious, isn't it, Lilith?" Lilith. One of them called the other one Lilith. And the one called Lilith is about to speak, and she says, indeed, it is Neama. Neama. They are playing. And in that moment, all the Akuma in the underworld, because the gate has now, oh my goodness, guys, because the gate has now been opened, all the Akuma in the underworld start coming out. They start flooding in. They with desperation. They start because they've been wanting to come to the human world for so long. They start flooding in, each and every one of them. And the leader of the resistance and everyone in Spider Kingdom are terrified and they're screaming, ah! The leader of the resistance says, are those, yep, devils? Yep, they are popping out. They are just flooding out uncontrollably. And Merleone at this point looks down and sees them and says, oh, this feels like the magic from back then. Twitch. And the ancient legendary demon gets up again. And Merleone looks up to him and says, in other words, the fight starts for real now. With a smile on her face. And then the dialogue shifts to Yuno attacking Zeno, blowing a hole in his body, and Zeno is coughing out blood. I couldn't win at 70%, he says, but it's over. Zeno says, I couldn't win at 70%. So Zeno is at 70% at this point. And we all know that now that the gate has been opened, these Dark Triad can now be able to use their Akuma at 100% or even more. So Zeno has been fighting Yuno at 70% all this time. And Yuno says, it's over. It's over, Zeno. A worthy effort, but no. What's her curse power was sealed, but her magic is swelling. Dante says, the first gate, the barrier that makes our contract with the devils incomplete, just opened. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. At this point, because the gate has been opened, the camera, the dialogue targets Zeno, Dante, and Vanica. Dante, Zeno, and Vanica. Zeno is regenerating. He has literally regenerated the hole in his body, and something is happening to him. He's growing stronger. Dante is growing stronger. Vanica is negating the wrapped roses wrapped around her by Charlotte to destroy her. She's negating it now. And they say devil power at 100%. Devil power at 100%. And Jack the Reaper looks at Dante, and Dante uses his gravity pull and pulls Jack the Reaper. He's about to pull Jack the Reaper towards him, and he says, sorry to disturb you when you are lying down, but come and fight me a while longer. So, because of the explosion, he blew, like he separated Dante and Jack. So Jack is now on the ground, looking over Dante, growing stronger, and Dante pulls him back towards him and tells him, come fight me a little longer. Boy, are you a Manny or what? And Vanica dashes towards Charlotte to fight her. I like you so much, and you still, all right, wanna come with me? And at this point, the dialogue shifts over to Yuno looking at Zeno at this point. Zeno's bone structure or spectacle magic bone structure is now different. The bone structure have changed. It is a different type of, it has a different type of look. And Yuno says his bones, his bones power to regenerate and attack is even higher now. The damage I did to his body healed up too. And Zena looks at Yuno with no emotions whatsoever, and he says, "Your victory was just a fragile, fleeting dream." Damn it. It seems like the dialogue goes to Nehat. Damn it. They are everywhere. And the dialogue goes to Maurice. If I let Maurice go unchecked, the situation will keep deteriorating. I have to go defeat him fast. Excuse me, there is no other way. And the two new Akuma that popped up, Lihita and Naham. However, there is no telling what devils of the highest order may do. Someone has to keep them occupied as well. So Nehat is weighing the situation, looking at the two highest order devils that are looking over the fight. And Nehat continues to say, defeat Maurice and keep the devils in check. If we are going to win, the best move is, and the dialogue zooms over Asta. And Nehat says, die with me, please. As I said, you will be the ones to die. The dialogue shifts again to Zenon and Dante. Zenon versus Yuno. Don't worry though, you would have nowhere to return to in any case. And Yuno says, what? And everyone around the Spider Kingdom is looking over and they see what is happening. It's chaotic. Hey, look. Another huge Akuma pops up. Another huge devil pops out of a volcano with 4 arms, a giant titan-looking Akuma. And now, at this point, the civilians have had enough of these bizarre situations. They are screaming their lungs out. The resistance are screaming. Everyone in Spider Kingdom is screaming. And they say, it's a demon. And the dialogue shifts again to where Asta is training with Libe. Asta looks over to Libe and says, when? He says, where? And that brings us to the end of chapter 280. Now to chapter 281. Chapter 281. Demons are a miracle born from human hatred and the power of the underworld. Long, long ago, in the Spade Kingdom, there were 2 royal youths, close friends who had phenomenal strong magic. At some point, their affection turned to hatred and they became demons. They fought and they were sealed away. The greenberry, the greenberry, the green barriers were guarding those two ancient demons. We woke them up. The green barriers were guarding those two ancient demons. We woke them up. And we released them in order to distract you. With so many of your merges here, well, with so many of your merges here, will the Clover Kingdom be able to protect itself? It's absorbing mana through its wings, and now its magic is even greater. And the ancient demon beast, legendary demon beast that is fighting Melilione, continues to rage because now they can be able, everyone, all the Akumas are now using their 100% ability. And at this point, the dialogue shifts over to King Julius. He's using his mirror to watch everything that is going on. In this body, I am really no match for that thing. I will need time to release my full power, he says. Until then, please hold on, all of you. You aren't a magic knight. And I am sorry to ask, but I need your power. Please help me. Julius is asking for help because he needs to activate his full power. And at this point, the legendary uh, Asian demon continues to revel up, attacking Merilione furiously, but Merilione is holding her own. It's bizarre on Sparta Kingdom right now. It's bizarre in Sparta Kingdom, and every Magic Knight that heard, uh, every Magic Knight is looking on what is going on. And let's see what else. Vertex Magic Area Helix. And a huge giant ball. This demon magic is forming a huge giant ball to attack everyone around him. And these resistance are now, they continue to scream their lungs out. Ah, run for it. It's too big. It's just, there is no way to deal with that. And the Magic Knights continue to fight. Don't let it go any further. It seems like they're using their magic to stop this giant demon, Asian demon giant Akuma. While Captain Kirsa and the purple archers are slowing it down, evacuate the citizens. The demon is charging straight for the royal capital. And at this point, the Akuma, the Asian giant Akuma, or the one that came out of a volcano, is heading towards Clover Kingdom at this point. And Kira, Kira is screaming his lungs out. You could literally see inside him, inside his mouth, everything screaming, ah, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. The Asian demons that have popped out is about to strike down the capital of Clover Kingdom. Cherry blooms magic cherry blooms storm of petals. Mist magic transcends illusion. Now Nozzle and the family of Noile, there comes out, the family of Silver comes out to help out. Water creation magic, sea serpents below. Nozzle and his siblings starts to attack this Akuma. Damn it, I spent 6 months training my magic, and the best I can do is divert the attack. Its magic is ludicrously strong. Scale magic, scale regulate. The magic is far too vast. I can't negate it completely. The name of this character that just popped up, let me look it up. Dominator. Dominator comes out and says, scale magic, scale regulate. This magic is far too vast. I can't negate it completely. And the Akuma shoots another one. The only way to fight phenomenal magic is to strike back with magic that's equally phenomenal. And this huge Akuma with forearm shoots towards the capital again. And all the magic knights, the civilians, says that spell, that's, oh, the older version of Julius comes out. The older version of Julius finally appears. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. The older version, Julius, comes out with his Grimro, and everyone's eyes glare up like as if they're seeing a shining star. Everyone is happy at this point. Each and every Magic Knight, each and every Clover Kingdom civilian, they are looking up. They see Julius. They are, wow, the Wizard King. It's the Wizard King. And Julius said, I advanced my body's time by 10 years. I advanced my body's time by 10 years. But the time and my abilities are limited. But if I combine my power with Dominator's and the Akuma continues to revel up. Now, give me strength once more. So, in a way, Julius is combining his powers with Dominator's. And at this point, Julius is going to attack. He's dashing towards the huge Akuma. In this world, magic is everything. I am out of time already. Wizard King, I am out of time already. Why it's too soon? Huh? Wizard King, Dominator said, I can't hold it at bay any longer. So the Akuma is morphing a huge energy to strike down Clover, just wipe Clover Kingdom off the map. And at this point, Asta at this point, Asta dashes towards Dominator. He says, let's go, Libe. Right. Devil Union. Who? Huh? Asta? Asta goes to fight the huge giant Akuma or demon, Asian demon or whatever with forearms. And that brings us to the end of chapter 281. Oh my goodness, guys. It's going mayhem right now. It's going mayhem. Asta is standing with Dominato, Julius, I believe, and they are trying to push the huge ball, the huge energy of this Akuma back. They are trying to stop this Akuma. And Asta says, "Let's go, Libe." Right. Devil Union. And some type of, you know, struggle is going on. And I believe this was the same devil Akuma, almost the same devil Akuma that fought the first Wizard King years ago. And the dialogue shifts again to Yuno and Zenon staring each other down. Zenon says, "The Clover Kingdom the Clover Kingdom still has that guy, and all the civilians of magic of Clover Kingdom is looking on." And Daminato says, "All that magic," and he erased it. At this point, let me go back. When Asta said, "Let's go, Libe," and they start trying to, they Asta merged his ability on that huge ball and negated that huge ball attack. And as soon as he negated that huge energy, the dialogue shifted to Zeno and Yuno. Unfortunately for you, the Clover Kingdom still has that guy. That's Zeno, that's Yuno that said this. And Daminato said all that magic, and he erased it. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. Look at this. You know what? I am so mesmerized right now. You guys have no freaking idea. Asta has finally bonded with his Akuma. This is a full union of Asta and Libe. And I'm going to update the stream with this image, man. This is badass. This is badass. And if you guys want me to keep going, after I get to chapter 85, I will go till chapter 90. Right? If you guys want me to keep going, I will go till chapter 90. This is badass. If a union of Asta and Libe emerges, Asta looking badass as ever. At this point, our devil union only lasts 5 minutes. At this point, our devil's union lasts only 5 minutes. We will take it down instantly. And as that goes after this, his sword is so long and so huge. Asta's sword is longer and bigger than before. Asta attacks the giant ancient demon. Daminato is looking over. He cannot believe his eyes. And he says, "Magic Parliament guy. Watch me." Okay, Asta says to Daminato, looking at him, "Magic Parliament guy, watch me. I'm gonna." And then the scene shifts again to the people of Clover Kingdom looking up at Asta and looking at what is about to happen. And they say, "What's going on? That's..." And the dialogue shifts again. "Join forces with the devil. and protect this kingdom. Is that a devil? The civilians are looking on and say, is that a devil? It's a devil. Ah, the devils come to help the ancient demon destroyer. The ancient demon destroy our land. No, that's Asta. It's Asta. Asta and people of the Hag village, sister and the other and Asta's family, they are looking on and saying, that's Asta. Asta protecting the kingdom. And the family of Silva is looking over what is going on. They cannot believe their eyes, and they say, damn it, protected by the peasant. It's horrible and certainly not to my taste, but this may also be beautiful. The beautiful guy speaks right now. This may also be beautiful. Unbelievable. There's a character that I want to find her name right now. Give me a second, guys. There is a character that just popped up and I want to know her name. Okay. Soul. Soul says, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Who would have thought that little runt would end up being somebody this insane? You can do this. And it's not because you are possessed by a devil. And the camera shifts to what's his name? Let me go back. And Callus looks up and he says, it's because you are more of a magic knight than anyone else. And he screams, Asta! Go! And now let me say it in Japanese word. Asta! Ike! Man, Carlos is screaming with his lungs out. He's screaming, Asta, go. And Asta is about to swing his sword again. And this Asian demon is launched itself towards Asta. And I believe this is young Julius. I think he has reverted back to his normal body again. And he says the Asian demon is an enormous mass of supercharged magic. It repels all spells in existence and uses primitive repetitives attacks to crush and mold down everything. However, for that very reason, it has no way to block. And Asta is swinging his sword. This Asian being is trying to catch Asta, but it's too big because Asta is very small. Anti-magic attacks. And Asta swing his sword again and cuts one of this thing's arm, and one side of his horn. Oh man, and because that sword is so huge and so long. Oh my god. Asta didn't just cut this thing one side only. He split that sword, split this Asian being into two. The sword split this Asian being into two. And Asta screams, yes! Oh no, oh no. If this keeps up, he's gonna. Mr. Nehat is gonna. And Kalos, Dominato, Kalos, Dominato, everyone in Clover Kingdom, the Hag Village, everybody, even Julius. And you know, when Julius sees something exciting, his eyes sparkles. His eyes sparkles, and Carlos scream, "Yeah!" And Asa says, "Okay, let's head for the Sparta Kingdom." Oh my goodness, man! This is awesome. Sugei, Sugei Sugoi. That brings us to the end of chapter 282. Let's move on to chapter 283. Let's head for the Spirit Kingdom. Well, that was the plan, but even with Devil Union, that's gonna take forever. I can't do ultra long distance. I can't do ultra long distance teleportation without Mr. Nehat. And right, and right now, he couldn't do it anyway. So what should we do? So Asta is saying he can't go at that rate. He can't do teleportation. And while he's trying to figure out what to do, his union runs out, and Libe and Nehat Akuma splits away from him, and he falls on the ground. And he says, "Whoa, wow, that came undone way faster than I figured. Idiot, use Demon Slayer to fly." Yeah, Libe says, "Idiot, use Demon Slayer to fly." There you go, leveling up like crazy again. Still trying to head over all by yourself. Still trying to head over all by yourself is pretty cold, don't you think? And Asta looks up and he says, "Got it." And the dialogue shifts again to Sparta Kingdom. All hell has broken loose at this point. And my question now is, where in the Blue Moon is Noile and the others? Noile, uh, Noile, Minusa, and the others. Where did they go? Because I thought they would be here by now. All hell has broken loose. These demons are, these Akumas, tons of them, to so many of them, are literally causing chaos, massacre, despair, Tetumo, 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 Tetumo on Sparta Kingdom. And the leader of the resistance says, "Protect the citizens." The pride of the merged defense force is on the line. And they are fighting these Akumas. And the other ones are trying to save the civilians or the citizens. This way, over here. Huh? Where are we? Snow creation magic. Snowman safe house. We will use Makusa's snow magic to hide them from the devils. and Virtuo's spectacle magic to evacuate them. And here comes the Buha Master. in the in the unlikely event that they find us, my magic will clean them up. Don't find us. Don't find us. Don't find us. Don't find us. Damn it. They are tough. And on top of that, there are too many of them. And at this point, I believe this is Fegolion. Fegolion arrives with his dragon, Salamander. Fegolion arrived with Salamander, looking down at everything that is going on, and he says, "Our countries may be different, but our desire to protect the citizens is the same." And the one of the resistance says, "Oh, the fire spirit! How furious! How scared!" And Salamander is looking down on all these Akuma, and there are a couple of Akuma with wings as well, close to Salamander. And Salamander is is about to be attacked by all these Akuma with wings, and Fegolion and Salamander starts fighting these other Akumas with wings, shooting fireballs at them. Curse you! Their numbers just keep growing, yeah, because the portal is open. All these Akumas that has been dying to come to the human world are now flooding out. They continue to flood out. It's chaos. No, they found us, Vato said. No, Buha Master says, no, they found us. And Vatos is this Akuma is about to attack Vatos, and Vatos used his particle magic, and Buha Master used his own magic as well, and they're fighting off Akumas around them. Oh my goodness, man. And as if things can't get any worse, a bright light shines, and everyone looks over and says, what was that powerful spell? It only attacked the devils, leaving the humans unscratched, or leaving the human unscorched. Who on earth? Good, you're here. So Fegolion looks over and says, Good, you are here. Good, you are here. And we see, oh man. Now, guys, I get to say that this is awesome. This is superb. And Noile, Light, Mimosa, Nero, Leopard, Gaja, Chami, and the Heart Kingdom captains comes dashing in. We won't let you devils have your way with this world. And not just them. They came with Light and his people too. Because I see Light behind, everyone. They all came at the same time. The elves are also going to fight in this war. And that brings us to the end of chapter 283. Now things just can't, oh my goodness, guys, this is I am speechless, man. I'm out of words right now. Chapter 284. Chapter 284. Come on in. Nice to meet you. I am Dryda. I am Dadad. I have got a bit of the gift of prophecy, I knew you would come. It it clued me in on the fact that the gate of the underworld was getting ready to open. A flood of incoming devils in a flood of incoming devils would make things pretty awful here in Elisa too. So it seems like this is water spirit Yudin. This is water spirit Yudin. So we will definitely give you a hand. Hehehe. She's not what I was expecting. This is light talking. What are we going to teach you? What we are going to teach you is the ultimate magic. It embodies all the magic of its caster. Now, at this point, the camera and the scene goes to when Noile and the others were in Elf's realm training, and this is light training them. What we are going to teach you is the ultimate magic. It embodies all the magic of its caster that makes it a unique, unrivaled spell for each individual. The essence of magic. Originally, only chosen elves who have vast magic can use it. Humans possesses far too little. However, however, by making free use of mana method in the Heart Kingdom, in other words, you can use more magic than you actually have. That means there is a chance that you will be able to artificially use ultimate magic. Here in Alicia, here in Alicia, become acquainted with the origin of souls and physical draw. Sorry, let me read it again. Let me read that again. Here in Alyssa, become acquainted with the origin of souls and physically draw closer to mana. Your 6 months of training weren't in vain. Use the superhuman power of true magic to acquire ultimate magic. And at this point, the camera or the dialogue zooms on Noile, Gaja, Light, uh, the other Heart Kingdom captain, Chami, True Water, True Lightning, True Earth, True Cotton, True Planet, True Wind, True Flame Magic. Whew! And they shoot these, oh my, they all combine their strength, their power. They are standing their ground here. And all these thousands of Akuma, hundreds of Akuma dashing towards them to destroy them. They shoot, they use their mana together and shoots it at these hundreds of Akumas, and it did a huge number of damage on these Akuma. They literally obliterated most of these Akuma. And some of them that are left alive are looking down and they're wondering what the hell just happened. At this point, Sally says, wow, they are using those arrays to keep their attacks from hitting their allies. I wonder what happened. I wonder how those work. Think. They will let me research them later. And Noile says, just you wait, Vanica. Just you wait, Vanica. low ranking imbecile, low ranking imbeciles scrambling over each other to get out first. What exactly are you frightened of? And these Akuma that are trying to get out, and they say, let's play catch. You will beat the ball. Okay, two Akuma that are coming out of the portal. One in front of the other one is using the other one to attack the Clover Kingdom. He wrapped his tentacles or his whatever and says, "You will play catch," and launches him towards Spade Kingdom civilians and everybody. And the resistance leader says, "Their magic is far stronger than their magic is far stronger and more dreadful than the earlier devils. They are, yes." And a new Akumas comes out of that dimension again. As soon as they take out a good number of Akuma, more demons floods out. And these ones are mid-ranking devils. A game of catch as we drink in delectable outside mana. It doesn't get better than that. But I imagine playing with humans will be even more entertaining. And at this point, Yuden, the water spirit, said, with low level devils, if you use a ton of mana, you can mow them down even if you are not Arcane stage. The problem is the devils. The problem is the devils who are mid-level and higher. They look at that perfectly playmate. No, someone says, "Hey," I believe it's Light. Light says, hey, look at that perfect playmates. Let's see how much my ultimate magic can do. Come, humans, let's play." The Akuma, the leader of the mid-level or low-level Akuma ranking, says, "Come, humans, let's play. Entertain us with your screams." And this leader Akuma shoots his beam. Okay, he's about to power up his beam to shoot at everybody. And before he could fire it, out of the blue moon, someone cut his hand off. Who did that? Someone cut his hand off. And the leader of the civilian is like, "What the hell was that? Let's play with these guys." No. Hold on, let me make sure that I'm reading this. Okay, someone cut off his arm. And the leader of the mid-ranking Akuma says, "Huh? What is this guy? When did he?" And the guy that did that says, "Let's play with these guys and see what they have really got." Ultimate Light. Oh, Light did it. Okay, so after Light says, "Let's see how much my ultimate magic can do," and Light uses his light speed before this mid-ranking leader Akuma could shoot his power beam. Light cuts off his hand, and Light says, "Ultimate lighting magic, lighting battle fiend." Geez, come on. If you can't see me, this won't even count as a game. And one of the resistance says, "What's that? The castle? It's burning. No, it's freezing. Inside, there is somebody we can't afford to miss." And the two Akuma that popped up, the highest order Akuma, Lisita or Lihita and Namia. At this point, the dialogue goes to Nahat. It seems like Nahat can handle these highest order Akuma. They attacked him. They have pierced his arms, his body, his legs. He can't go anywhere. Nahat is in bad condition right now. He couldn't do anything against these Akumas. And that brings us to the end of chapter 284. Chapter 285. Now, guys, I'm going to chapter 290. Let me update the stream. I'm going to chapter 290. So, chapter 285. A few minutes before Noile and the others arrived, right now, and Nehat was in bad condition even before Noile and the others arrived. And right now, our top priority are to defeat the Dark Trides, close the gate to the underworld, and keep the situation from deteriorating further. To that end, first we need to separate Dante and the top level devils. And the two top level devils are saying, let's play slowly, carefree. Yes, let's play. Torment, toy with, break, kill. Yes, 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 yes. These two high order Akuma, they are not playing at this point. And Dante says, and here comes Dante. Ha ha ha. Yeah, haha, yes, yes, this is brilliant. This is the world I wanted. Right now, Dante is happy. That one looks amusing too, but it's Lucifero toy. Okay, Dante is laughing his head off and he says, brilliant. This is the world I wanted. And the two high order Akuma says, that one looks amusing too, but it's Lucifero's toy. That means the two high ranking devils looked at Dante and says, that's Lucifero's vessel. Yes, that could get messy. And in that moment, Jack the Reaper gets up and he says, hey, you're fighting me, remember? I swear I will slash you up. And Dante looks at him and says, interesting. Nehat looks on and says, Jack's going to have a rough time on his own, but I will just have to bet on him. And Nehat says, Will Gunner, did you complete your mission? Alright. Devil Union mode. Galos. Nehat bonded with a lot of devils, and one of them comes out and he says, Will Gana or Wogana, did you complete your mission? And he says, All right, Devil Union mode, Gallus. And this mode, Nehat has wings now. He no longer has the shield that he had before with the other devil with the other Akuma ability. Now with this Akuma called Union Mode Gallus, he almost looks like an eagle. He almost looks like an eagle at this point. And now he has the power of flight. Characteristics call. And the high order Akuma are looking at him, and he's looking at them. And Nehat is able to pop out of the ground and about to catch the high order Akumas off guard. Right? He pop out of the ground and about to demobilize the two Akumas. But the high order Akuma resisted him, used their wings because two of them have their wings, and they flew up in the air, preventing Nehat from demobilizing them. And one of the Akuma, I believe Lihata, says he froze us for a moment. He transported us. How amusing. And Naham Akuma said, Gee, I will be your opponent, devils. So Naham says, How amusing, Gee. And Nehat says, I will be your opponent, devils. Mana Zone. Dark Prison Hunting Ground. And Nehat creates this mana zone. And he says, let this hellish game of tag begin. Nehat is now taking these two high order Akuma. And these two high order Akuma says, I can't see. Neither can I. Let's play with this power. Yes, let's. We will compete to kill him. Oh, yes, but we won't fight in earnest. Agreed. Slowly, carefree. Slowly, carefree. And Nahat and Lihata and Naham starts fighting in Nahat's mana zone. Mode equals found you, and they start attacking Nehat. I knew it. My attacks don't work on them. On top of that, their magic is endless. I can't even defend with equals. In other words, all I can do is keep evading until I die and stall them here in this dark prison. Nehat cannot do anything to Lihata and Naham, the two high order Akuma. All he could do is try to evade their attacks and keep them in this dark mana zone. and the high order Akuma says, Good, yes, you're fast, but then and yet, why? Why don't you run away? And Nehat responds, Because the fact that I can't forgive you and your unjust evil is why I'm alive. Besides, I don't care if I die. The house of Fetus. a distinguished noble family had twin sons. The younger twin was the very picture of a good man who was beloved by many. He joined the Magic Knights, saving people as a matter of course. The older twin was bad, a delinquent. Most people disapproved of him. He used magic arbitrarily and only for himself. Wait a minute. Nehat has a brother? Let's keep going. You won't join the Magic Knight's brother. With your magic, you could help a lot of people. Don't be an idiot. Where is the fun in that? You Morgan. Oh, okay. You won't join the Magic Knight's brother? With your magic, you could help a lot of people. Don't be an idiot. Where is the fun in that? The older brother said. Yo, Morgan. Mission time. So Yami, this is now back in time. Yami steps in. Yami, this is back in time. And Yami says, mission time. Understood, Yami. Well, here is another weirdo. It's crazy that a guy like you joined up with the Knights. That rub is not your look. Huh? Didn't you see the didn't you see I didn't oh, sorry guys. Huh? Didn't see you there, guy. You are still in that whole bad boy phase. So embarrassing. You are not much different, loser. Huh? You two always get along? You two always get along so well. Are you blind back at you, moron? That brings us to the end of chapter 285. Chapter 286. If something wasn't fun for me, I didn't want to do it. So, chapter 286, the title is A Night with No Morning. And we see a kid that kind of looks like young Nehat, and he's saying, if something wasn't fun for me, I didn't want to do it. For as far back as I could remember, I would I would I would have done nothing bad but bad stuff. My little brother was the popular opposite. He loved everyone and everyone loved him. He could sacrifice himself for a stranger just like his magic attribute. He was light. One second guys, let me go back. Let me go back. Let me check something out. Okay, let's continue. So, chapter 286, A Night with no mourning. As if something wasn't fun for me, I didn't want to do it. For as far back as I could remember, I have done nothing but bad stuff. My little brother was the popular opposite. He loved everyone, and everyone loved him. He could sacrifice himself for a stranger just like his magic attributes. He was light. We looked identical, and yet you would never have thought we were the same species. So Nehat is an identical twins, just like he is very identical with his older brother. My feelings about my brother were well. So this is Morgan saying this. Morgan. Around the time I got my Grimro, I heard rumors about a foreigner who used eerie magic. Out of curiosity, I went to see him. He was a pretty wide guy. What's with you, punk? Wanna rumble? And maybe because our magic attributes were similar, we got along oddly well. Now, Morgan is talking about Yami now. We got up to quite a lot of trouble together, keeping it pretty enough that we wouldn't get hauled in by the knights. Half a year later, some weird coincidence, that guy and my brother both joined the Grey Deer Raj. I figured there was no way a like I figured there was no way a guy like Yami would make it as a magic knight. However, my brother could get along with anyone, and the two of them hit it off. Maybe because of him, Yami managed to feel at home in the br- brigade as well. Brigade. My brother said Yami and I were a lot alike, and it wasn't just our magic, but for some reason I didn't like that. You have got the greatest talent for magic, brother. Every time he said it, he tried to get me to join the magic to he tries to get me to join the knights. What a pain. When we turned 18, my parents summoned me. It's kind of late to be lecturing me, isn't it? Just forget I am the oldest son and have Morgan inherit the title. No, you will be the one to inherit the house of Farsot, the house of Forest. Nehat, huh? Shadow magic. Invitation from a dark guardian. A family. As a family, we have devoted ourselves to the study of the devils for generations. As a family, we have devoted ourselves to the study of devils for generations. You have inherited that magic and that spirit. Faced with that hideous, beautiful, unknown temptation, I trembled, my heart grew restless, and I felt an unfathomable excitement. The malice in me was overjoyed. In the Fossot family, I was the one who really fit in, while Morgan was the black sheep. In the Magic Knights, Mojin and Yami became a dynamic duo of light and dark. Meanwhile, I grew myself into the study of devils and showed a talent for it. To think you would contract with to think you would contract with four devils so quickly. And Mr. Oh, and sorry, to think you would contract with four devils so quickly and master their power so well. You are a genius, Nahat. You just might be able to contract with this devil as well. The underworld is ruled by three devils of gravity, time, and space. One of the devils who supports them is the supreme devil Lucifagus. Lucifagus. One of the devils who supports them is the supreme devil Lucifagus. A supreme devil, huh? Interesting. Don't do it, brother. Mojin, father, mother, forbidden magic is a crime. As a magic knight, I can't overlook this. Mojin, when did you? Besides, more than anything, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Any more would be dangerous? That's what's good about it. A supreme devil, I like the sound of it. I like the sound of that. Life really should be this much of a rush. You and I, brother, are different. Here and now, I will surpass my limit. Wow. Summon. And Morgan summons this huge looking devil, huge looking Akuma. The ritual should be suppressing his power. So, what on earth is this magic? And something ominous starts happening to their parents. And he looks over and he says he's attacking everyone beside the individual who invoked him. My body won't move. This supreme devil is something we never should have messed with. And at this point, the younger brother rushes to his older brother and grabs his hand. Okay, thank you guys for clearing that out. The white guy, the guy in white hair is Nehat. Thanks for clearing that out, guys. So Nehat is the one doing all of this. Morgan, the relic that's leaked to this devil, is he trying to destroy it and cancel the ritual? Don't. Intervention by a third party. What sort of risk does that? And at this point, something is happening to his arm. Thanks for thanks for clearing that out, guys. Nehat is one in white is one with white hair, and at this point, it seems like Mergen has been injured grievously. Morgan, Morgan, ha ha ha! I knew my family was working with forbidden magic, but I didn't report it to the knights. I guess this is what I get. You idiot! You just. Why did you. My dream. Okay. Nahat dyed his hair white so that he doesn't look like his brother. Great. Why did you. My dream was to stand beside you, brother, and protect the kingdom's peace. As knights of shadow and light, so I, Morgan, hey, Morgan, the very picture of a good guy. Straightforward, so dazzling, I couldn't even look at you. That was what you were like. And I really loved you. Even if I couldn't shine, I wanted you to do it. If I was beside you, it feels as if it would defile your light. So I. And at this point, he dies. And Nehat screams, "Ah! I'm begging you, save my brother. I am the one who should die. He hasn't done anything wrong. Gods, please. Don't go spotting. Whatever convenient, whatever is convenient for you at the time. You did whatever you wanted. And now, when you are in trouble, you count on the gods? Don't give me that, you idiot. Who in their right mind would save you?" And the dialogue goes back. The dialogue goes back to Nehat. He went back in time, remembering what happened between him and his brother. And he says, "Until I die, I will never forgive myself. I am not trying to rectify your evil. Damn it. I am going to kill you before you lay a hand on any good people. I never thought I would say this again, but here and now I will surpass my limit." Whew, that takes us to chapter 287. Whew, man, chapter 287. Let me update this real quick. Chapter 287. We see a picture of Asta and Yuno. Looks pretty dope. They look pretty dope right now. Let me quickly, like, they look pretty awesome. You see Asta full union ability and Yuno with his own magic. Let's keep going. I don't care if I die, however, since I am monitoring the whole situation and giving orders, I wasn't supposed to die until our victory is assured. But I don't have the luxury of saying that now. All the devils I am contracted with are mid-level. They can't even touch these supreme devils. I know my limit. That's why someday I'm gonna make my own brigade. Now the scene goes to Nehat mourning his brother again, burying him and stuff. And while he's grieving, Nami comes behind him and said, "Someday I'm gonna make my own brigade." Me, a captain, isn't that ridiculous? If I make it happen, you be my vice captain. Then we will both get laughed at together. So this is Yami talking to Nehat that someday he's gonna make his own team, and him Nehat will have to be his vice captain. No matter how I pay for my sins, I can't forgive myself. I can't let myself be praised or stand in the spotlight. I can't, I can't and must not be like Mojin. I will destroy evil and evil from the shadows until I die. Help me with my gamble. Plomade and Welgana. Wagana. Wagana. Of course, you showed us things. I will surpass my limit here and now. Whenever, whenever could have seen in the underworld, I believe in you, Nehat. I will surpass my limit here and now, and Nehat turns up his powers. His aura starts to negate those high order uh, attacks, negate all the spikes in his body, and he says, Devil Union, Mold Gallus X Phyllis. You have of a single spell of the class of a supreme devil. Shadow magic, monument of atonement. Oh man, I'm sure when they'll be saying this on the anime, it's gonna be epic. Come and play an endless hellish game of tag with me. At this point, Nehat is summoning more weird abilities and more weird hands of Akuma. And those Akuma comes out of the ground and grabs the two high order Akuma. By sacrificing myself, I will lock you inside a world of shadows, a place with no light, life, or death. And at this point, Nehat grabs the two high ranking order Akuma, and it seemed like he dragged them with him and sealed Okay, he's able to trap them. Impossible. They broke my spell. Something which doesn't physically exist? Their magic, it burns away everything. Devil Eyes magic, Devil Flame magic freezes everything. Those high order Akumas are not going down easily. Nehat can't do anything to this. Even Shadow and Light and even Invincible concepts. And he gets angry, and Nehat looks pretty beat up right now. He screams with anger. He continues to scream, and as he screams, these high order 2 Akumas are laughing at him. Ha 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 ha. Good, 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 very good. Scream of agony and despair. Scream of agony and tetumo. Tetumo, 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 tetumo. Wrung from the staring throat of a human until the very end, until the last, he's empty. Very, very good. And Nehat continues to scream. This whole time, they were only playing. And the 2 high order ranking Akuma continues to scream. No, continues to laugh at Nehat. Ha 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 ha. I can't. No, take it anymore. Neither can I. We will kill him. Let's kill him. Yes. There is no human. Let us hear your last and finest scream. Who could beat a supreme devil? Ooh! And in that moment, Asta dives in because Asta has been wanting to get to where Nehat is. In that moment, as soon as the 2 high order Akuma were about to take out Nehat, Asta swings in and cuts one of them, if anything could. Swings in, cuts one of the high order Akuma hand off, like clean cut. And he said, "What's this?" It's severed. One of probably either Naham or Litiat looked at her hand and said, "It's severed." And Asta says, "Hey, it's anti-magic." What do you think you're doing to our vice captain? That brings us to the end. Oh, okay. The manga ended on chapter 287, yo. The manga ended up on chapter 287. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you guys. Please keep me updated. Keep me updated once the new chapter is out. Please keep me updated once the new chapter is out, because the chapter ended on 287. On chapter 287. Whew. Oh my goodness, guys. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, guys, and I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me. You guys are awesome. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel for more manga reading coming. And at noon, hours from now, I will be reading the beginning after the end. So if you have subscribed, don't forget to get your membership, guys, so that you don't miss out on exclusive content, exclusive update, exclusive photo shots, exclusive, like, it's a lot of things are happening. So don't forget to subscribe if you have subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. Don't forget to get your membership. And I want to thank each and every one of you, wherever you are. Thanks for joining me on this live stream. Thanks for supporting this channel, each and every one of you, wherever you are. Thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure. The next upcoming chapter, you rest assured know that it's going to be Asta versus these high-ranking, these right-ranking Akuma. It's going to be Asta versus these high-ranking Akumas. You know, and for the fact that Asta has bonded with Libe and now able to do union magic, right? Union transformation, union mana. I look forward to see what else he can be able to do at this point in time. But Asta has come a long way, and I would like to see where the fight is going, like what's going on with the fight between Yuno and Zenon. Langris, I'm not sure what he's doing, but I'm sure Yuno and Langris will probably have to team up to fight Zenon, because Zenon as well, Zenon can now use his 100% Akuma ability. Okay, Zenon can now use his 100% Akuma. Dante can use his 100% now. Even Vanica. This fight is far from over. And just like Asta will say to these high-ranking Akuma, to these two high-ranking Akuma, thinking that the fight is over, thinking that it's over, when the fight is far from over, when the fight is just getting started. Just like Asta will stay, just like Asta will look them in the eye, look in their core and say, with his anti-magic sword, with furiousity in his eyes, with determination, with strife, with anger, with frustration. Madada! All right, guys, thanks for joining me, and stay tuned for the beginning after the end manga.